Can I have your attention, please?
Josh died on December 14th, 2006, so on Saturday, this coming Saturday, it'll be 7 years. And I can honestly say that it could feel like a lifetime ago, and just as easily I can close my eyes and it's yesterday, you know? And I think most people that go through a tragedy like that, where your life was, you know, what I would say at the time was pretty perfect, right? And just literally in minutes is completely nothing like you knew 5 minutes ago, right? You go from being a co-parenting children to a single parent. Your business is left without a leader. I mean, everything in my world turned upside down. So I credit me getting through that time of my life to my family, you know? And, you know, whether this is politically correct or not, you know, I'm a spiritual person. You know, I have a power greater than myself, that that I believe in the power of prayer. And I'll say two things about that. Is one, that there were so many people in that first year that would walk up to me. I mean, Josh, you know, it was on ESPN. It was, you know, he was a you know, a big fish in the small pond of Delaware builders, and his family was well known. And then it was tragic because he was 42 and had 3 kids, and people knew the story. And then my family, because the restaurant business at the beach is well known. And so there was a lot of grief. And more I'd see people and they'd say, "We're praying for you." Yeah, "We're praying for you." And, or somebody would shoot me a note and say, you know, "You're in my prayers." And this is going to sound hokey, but, you know, at times I think the only thing that got me through my day were the prayers of others. Now, could I prove it? No. Do I believe it? Yes. And I think that first year, the advice I would give to someone else is to be easy on yourself. You know, I'm tough. I want to feel something. I want to get through it. Well, how do I get through it, you know? I was a long distance runner, and the way I would run a marathon is, you know, you think about the finish line. And in grief, there is no finish line, you know? There is no, I'm going to get to that place. I think, you know, you have days where it's like a wave. The grief is like a wave. You feel it in your stomach, and it comes up, and it takes over everything, you know, everything. So what I would try to do is focus on the here and now, right? So God chose for me to live and for Josh to die. I don't understand that. I know that he lived a beautiful life, you know, a fulfilled, you know, blessed life. Why God chose for me to live and for him to go, that's in God's infinite wisdom. What I do believe is that means that I have more work to do on this earth. And so I have put a lot of, you know, what I do next in that thought. Like, so you're here, Michelle. So who are you going to be to the world? You know, are you going to be that person where I had someone in Josh's family say, you know, I'd put on sweatpants and, you know, with the amount of money you have, I'd never do another thing. And I thought to myself, God, what an awful thing. Can't imagine anything worse. So that means I've died.
Right.
That's death.
Right.
So, you know, so I say to people, be easy on yourself. You know, include your family in your grief, you know, and know that people sometimes don't know what to say. You know, they don't know what to say to you. And I would say to people, it's okay to just say, I'm sorry, Michelle, you know, I'm sorry. And of course I've talked about, you know, finding a purpose letting people into your grief. My girlfriends and my family, held me up for a time. They held me up, and then when I would, feel like I could do a little more on my own, I did a little more on my own, and that, each child, I think, mourns differently. So each one of my children, I had a 2-year-old who doesn't remember anything about her dad except for what she's seen in pictures. I have an 11-year-old who is 5, and he has deep sadness about losing his father. And then I had a 15-year-old who mourned like an adult, and my thing with him was, you'll go to grief counseling. All my kids were in grief counseling. You'll go to grief counseling or you won't drive, right? Because that kind of anger and hurt shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car. And so go on a Wednesday and you'll have your car on Friday. Don't go on a Wednesday, you'll be walking. So, so I believe in grief counseling. I believe in a conscious contact with, a God. A God is all I can say. And know that, that you are where you are because that's where God means you to be. And there's this great saying, look down at your feet, you're exactly where God wants you. And, you don't have to understand it. You don't really know why, but here I am. And why not me? Why not me? As we're talking, some person is finding out the exact same news I got 7 years ago. I pray for them, So on Saturday, what I do is I remember this man, and I allow myself to feel it fully and to be sad for a day. I lose a day, 1 day every year. And I mourn for his kids, and I mourn for what the world lost that day. And I'll get up on Sunday, and I'll come back to this world and start doing what I need to do to fulfill my purpose on this earth.